All right, let's go, creators. What's up, my creators? In the last video, we made some AI images, some artful, beautiful images in Midjourney. In that video, you learned how to create a Discord account to use in your Midjourney account and how to start creating images using images that have already been created. So you've learned that if you're not creative with the prompts, no worries, you can use and be inspired by images that are already there for you. So we learned all of that in video one. This is part two, and we are going to take those images, or at least one of those images that we created in Midjourney, and we're going to pretend as though we have a wall art store. This can be a printable wall art store, or it can be an actual physical wall art store. Whatever you want to sell, you can do it with the AI images that you create in Midjourney and other places. So I am on Canva.com. And those of you who have been with me for a while, thank you for coming back. Those of you who are new, I hope that you have found a place here among other creators that you will love and spend time with us. So I am on Canva.com, as I said, and I have a pro subscription. I love the pro subscription because you have access to so many more fonts and features and elements, things that you do not have access to if you have a free account. So when you go to canva.com, what we're going to do, we're going to create the mockups that you could actually use in your Etsy store or Shopify or wherever you want to use these mockups. These would display your wall art so that people could see what your art would look like if they purchased it, whether it was printable or if it was something that was already printed for them. So let's get started. So on canva.com, you would choose create a design. And on create a design, you would go to custom size. I would choose pixels and I would choose the width as 2500, 2500, and the height I would choose as 2100, 2100. I use that quite often, so it's down here under recents. So I'm just going to click on that and Canva is going to open a workspace for me. Now, the reason I use that size, it's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just that over the years, I have found that this is the size that works pretty well in my Etsy store, or at least when I had an Etsy store. I don't currently have an Etsy store, but one of my students, her store is called Danny and Riley B. And so she allows me to log into her store to use it as an example. She allows me to use what do you call it? A temporary listing so that I can show you how to upload mock-ups to your Etsy store. So thank you to Danny and Riley B on Etsy. Really appreciate that. So now we have our blank workspace here. I'm going to make it a little bit larger so you can see it. Well, I guess, yeah, that's a good size. So I'm going to go over on the left-hand side and I would click on photos. And at the top in the search, I would type in dining room wall. Now, I've already done this, so that's why these under recent, these search queries are here: dining room wall, bathroom wall, bedroom wall. Well, that's a duplicate word there. Living room wall. So those are there. So what I'm going to do, since I've already created this, I just opened this so that you could see how it would start. So I have actually already started this. So I'm going to go over to what I started and what I created, and we can go from there and it'll save us a little bit of time. So these pages are all 2500 by 2100. And what I did, I'm going to go back over to the blank space, the blank workspace. When I typed in the dining room wall and I'm on photos, Etsy came up with all these different photos. So I just chose the ones that I wanted. I clicked on it. I clicked the three dots and I chose set image to background. So that's how you choose whatever photos you want. So that is simply what I did for each of these. Okay. So very simple. Now, what I did for this, let's go back over to the blank workspace or the workspace that we just started. I'm going to go to my uploads because in my uploads are the files that we created from the previous videos. These are the AI files that we created. So I simply clicked on the image, and I'm not sure if this is the one that we use. Yeah, it's the same one. I clicked on the image. When you click on the image, as long as you have the page selected, the image will pop over onto that page. And I just sized the image as I wanted it. But the other thing that I did, if you notice here, there's a frame around it. But in order to fit this image inside of the frame, I did something else. I went over to Elements and I typed in frame. And I didn't look for just a regular physical frame to put on the wall. I used this frame. Do you see this one here? This is a Canva frame. And if I click on it, it pops right over onto the workspace. Now, these are nice because you can shape them as long or as wide as you like to do it. And the image will pop right into its place. You see that? So, but what I want to do, I don't want the image to be short. I want it to be its full size. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to detach the image for now because I want to work with this frame, this Canva frame, and show you what I'm talking about. So I have that there. And now what I'm going to do is take our art image and hover over the Canva frame and it pops right into place. So I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller because now we have to put a frame around this image. So since these chairs are black, we could either use a black frame or we could find a wooden frame that looks about the color of the table. So now we could go down to either graphics or photos and we could click see all. So let's choose photos and we can find a frame that kind of looks like the color of this table. So let's choose this one. That's not quite the color. Let's choose this one. Maybe that's a little more like it. All right, so this is large. So what we're going to do is make this smaller. And it fits right over our Canva frame that has our image inside of it. But what we're going to do, I want you to notice something. Remember, this is a Canva frame. So anytime you put something over it, it's going to grab it and put it inside of that. So you have to be careful of that. So let's detach this image from there. And let's move this out the way. And actually, you know what we could do? Let's use the undo. Okay, so if we do undo, it's going to undo until it gets back to where we want it to be. So let's move this out of the way. Let's move this over. Now let's work with our Canva, with our physical frame that we want to place on the wall. We're going to make this a little smaller because we're going to make this is going to be the focal point because we want our Canva frame with our image to fit inside of this frame. So now we are going to move this right over. And if you can tell, the image is going behind the frame, which we want it to look that way, but we don't actually want it behind the frame. We don't want it behind the frame because we want our image to actually become a video. So we need to be able to grab this image when we get ready to turn it into a video. So if it's behind the frame, it makes it difficult to get to. Okay? So let's move this again. Put this over here in the center. By the way, you can tell it's the center because you see that purple line going down the middle? That tells you that it's the center, or maybe it's a pink line. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start sliding our image over, but I don't want this image, as I said before, behind the frame. So while it's selected, I'm going to click on position and I'm going to choose forward because I want it in front of this frame. So now I'm going to start moving this and manipulating it so that it fits inside of our physical frame on the wall. So that looks good. Make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Now I'll tell you, this is exactly why we wanted it on the front. Etsy now allows you, it's been for a few years, they allow you to put videos, and they encourage you to put videos because they say that customers interact with your products a little more when they see videos. So I'm going to click on our image and I'm going to choose animate, and I am going to choose any of these animations that you like. This will simply make this page one not only a JPEG file that we're going to download, but it's also going to serve as a video. And you can do that for as many pages that you want from your mockups. Okay. So let's go back over to where I have already done this. I've chosen, I think, 5 or 6 designs. And some of the designs, for instance, number 3, page 3, I also wanted to show 2 versions. I wanted to show a smaller version, and then one that is zoomed in a little more so that you could see it. And I think I did the same thing with this one. This is zoomed in. This is like a dining room or kitchen, and this is zoomed out. And then we have a final one down here that I wanted to show a smaller frame. And although it's large on the screen itself, you can tell because it is relative to this vase on the table and also this little item here. It is relative to that, you can tell it's a small frame. Okay? So that's how we show that it's a small frame, because it's relative to something. And I did that because these are all large. And so sometimes people want to see how an image will look in a different setting, a different frame, as a different size. And if you're selling digital images, you probably want to sell them, if they're printable digital images, you probably want to sell them in different sizes. And we'll talk about that in a moment as well. So these are our mock-ups. And I am calling this AA Design 1 because I called our original image AA Design. So this should actually be called AA Design 1 Mockup. All right, because this is the mockup for our AA Design 1. All right, so I'm still on Canva, but I am now in our actual design. This is what we created in Midjourney in the first video. We uploaded that design, we upscaled that design in Midjourney, and then we uploaded it to Canva. Now, what we want to do, we want to start creating this image in different sizes. Different sizes. So the way to do that, I know that this one is a 12 by, no, this is a 24 by 36. We created it as the larger size. So if you want to make them in different sizes. Let's say you want to make this as an 8 by 10. This is a 24 by 36. So we would start to resize. So you want to decide what sizes you want to sell. So some common sizes are 24 by 36. Let's see what else. 12 by 16, 8 by 10, 5 by 7. So those are some of the common sizes. So let's just do one so that I can show you what you'll need to do each time you want a different size. So since we want to resize this design, let's make sure that we close the sidebar so we can open this up fully and have all of our menu options. So now we want to choose resize, and we want to make sure that we choose the right unit size. And since we're going to be working in inches this time, that's what we're going to choose. So let's click on custom size. The units is already in inches. It's already a 24 by 36, but now we want to make it a 12 by 16. So I'm looking here on the side. These are some sizes that I have saved images in before, but I don't see a 12 by 16. So I'm going to click in the first box and type 12, and the second one I'm going to choose 16, and I am going to copy and resize this design. I want to copy and resize because we want a file for each of these sizes, because we are going to download each size, and we want to make sure we have individual files for that. So let's copy and resize this design. Make sure the 12 by 16 is checked. And now we're going to copy and resize. So Canva is copying it and resizing it, and it's letting you know over here. And now it's giving you the option to open the 12 by 16. It's going to open it in a different window. And I love the fact that when it resizes it, if you look at the top, it will let you know that the image is a particular size. Like at the top, this says 12 by 16. This one says 24 by 36. So now I'm going to download each of these files. Now you could do this as many times as you want to do it. If you want to continue to download as an 8 by 10 or 5 by 7, that's what you do. All right. So let's go back to our 24 by 36, and we are going to click on share. We are going to download this. But now when we download this, we want to make sure it's a PNG. We do not have to choose a transparent background because we don't want a transparent background. We want this entire file to be here. But it's a PNG file because PNG files are just a crisper, clearer type of file. It's better than a JPEG. It's also larger than a JPEG. So you want to make sure you don't keep these files on your computer for too long because they will take up space. I recommend getting a Google Drive. If you have a Gmail account, you can use Google Drive for free. We're also going to utilize Google Drive for our customer files. So let's download this. But when we download this, we're going to take this wheel and move it all the way to the right. And this is going to increase our DPI to 300, because normally Canva will download your images as a 96 DPI, and 96 DPI is not a good resolution if you want something printed. It's fine if you're looking at it on screen, like you're looking at this image and it looks perfectly clear, and it is on the screen. But if you took this image, although it's a 12 by 16, when it's printed, it would be blurry. So you want to make sure that you take the wheel all the way to the right to make it 3.125, and that would be a 300 DPI. And we have PNG, and so now we're going to download this file. This is our first file. This is a 24 by 36. So let's hit download. So while that is downloading, we can go over to the next file that we created, the 12 by 16, and do the same thing. So here's 12 by 16. We want to click on share, download. It's a PNG. Move the wheel all the way to the right, and we are going to download that one as well. So it is downloading now. Now, there are a lot of steps involved when you are creating your mockups and creating your files for customers. So the files that we just downloaded in 300 DPI, the 24 by 36 and the 12 by 16, those are both going to be for our customers. Those are going to be images that you're going to upload to your Google Drive, and you're going to give that link to your customer in a PDF file. So just kind of save that on the back burner, okay? So in the meantime, let's go back over to our mockups. All right? So what we're going to do, we're going to download all of these mockups, but in addition to the mockups that we're going to download as JPEGs, we're also going to make a video for Canva. Remember, I told you Canva allows you to make videos. So we are going to click on this image, and I think I had already animated it, but if you want to animate it, you click on the image. I'm going to, just so that you can see, I'm going to go down to one that is not animated. Okay, this one is not animated. So because it's not animated, when I click on it, the animate option appears. So now if I click on animate, I can choose whatever animation I want, and this image would animate. And if you hover over the different animations, Canva will give you a preview, a very quick preview, so you have to really look, and you can see what it would look like. Okay, but we don't necessarily have to animate this one. I'm just going to make the first 3 pages as a video. So I've already animated page 1, page 2, and page 3. So we are now going to download 2 things. We're going to download all of our pages, page 1 through page 8, as JPEGs. And these are going to be our Etsy listing files. So we're going to go to share. We're going to download. We're going to choose the file type as JPEG. We'll leave the quality as it is, and we're going to download all 8 pages together. So when they download together, they're going to be in a zipped folder, and you will go to your downloads folder and you will simply right click and extract those images from that file so that you can upload them to Etsy. Etsy will not allow you to upload an um, a compressed zip locked file, so you have to unzip them. So let's download these now, all 8 files together. And Canva is letting you know that it is downloading those. If you look at the bottom right screen, it's telling you that. Let's go back up to share, and we want to download again. But this time we want to download an MP4 video. We don't want all pages because remember, we chose pages 1, 2, and 3 for our video. So we are selecting pages 1, 2, and 3. If all of the pages are selected, what you want to do is click off of where it says all pages, and you just want to either select them individually or you could type it up here. So we now have selected pages 1 through 3, and it's an MP4 video. The quality is fine. We're going to leave it as it is, and we're going to download. So now Canva is letting you know that it is working on the MP4 video, it shows you here that it already downloaded the JPEG file. Now, while it's downloading our MP4 video, there's one more thing that we really have to do. We have to add one more page, and we're going to title this page AA Design 1 hyphen customer file. Now, if you look closely, AA Design 1, this is the same name as the file here that I named. But down here, I don't have any spaces in here. The reason I do that is it just makes it easier to, if I double click it, it makes it much easier for me to grab that group of text. That's all. No big deal, but it just makes it a little bit easier. So now, because this file, we're going to download this one page 9 as a PDF file. This is a file that customers will open and see what you have to tell them. You'll say thank you to them. Anything that you want to tell the customer will be here. The other thing that will be on this file is the link that we're going to create in Google Drive. So let's get started. We want to upload our logo on here. So I have my logo saved over here somewhere, I believe. And let's see, do I have yes. So you want to put your logo up here. And this is a way to help brand yourself, because every time the customer opens this file, they will see your logo on there. So let's say they, purchase something from you, they open up the file, but if this is not here, they may have forgotten where they got that file from. Maybe they want to come back and buy more. So you want to make sure that your logo is somewhere on here. The other thing you want to make sure that you have on here is a link back to your store. So we're going to click on text. I'm going to click on any of the text boxes. It didn't have to be this large. We're going to make this small. And we're going to put this down at the bottom of the page. And we're going to type in the name Joy Art Club. I'm going to click off of it. I'm going to click back on it. I'm going to click the 3 dots. And I am going to choose link. Now, the reason I choose link is because you are going to paste in here your link to your store. I don't have an Etsy store, but I do have a store. So let me go to my store and I'll show you how you grab your link. Okay, so I'm on my store, the JoyArtClub.online. I am simply going to go to the URL line, the very top. I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to go back to my page. Let's find our page. This is our page 9. This is going to be the customer file, remember? We're going to go back to the text that we just typed. We're going to click on it, choose the 3 dots, choose link, and now you're going to paste in here what you just copied. And then you're going to click done. And so now at the very top, you'll see that it's showing you where it's going to link to. So you want to test it to make sure that it's opening up to the page that you want. So it is. So it was successful. So I can close this now. Now what I can do, the text itself, I don't like this text, so I'm going to click on the text box and I'm going to change it to something that is kind of a replica of my actual font here. let's see. Well, for this video, that is close enough. Okay. So now what we can do, you can also change the color if you want to make this blue. Sometimes people make them blue because it looks like a link or something like that. You're welcome to do that. You can also link this actual logo. You could do the same thing. So if I click on the three dots, I go to link and I paste back in my URL, same thing. So if I click on it, it is going to the Joy Art Club. All right, so when your customer gets this file, this is just showing you where it's going. Your customer won't see this at the top, but as long as it's linked, when your customer clicks on it in their computer or their tablet, it will go to wherever you have designated that this should go to. So now, what else do we need to do? Well, what I like to do, I like to put a replica of what I'm selling on the customer file. Because if they buy a lot of different prints from you, if they see the file when they download these files to their computer, if they see your file on there, they'll know which one is which easily. So I'm going to go back up to this page. I am going to choose the three dots. I'm going to say copy, and I'm going to go back down here and I'm going to paste that photo. And I'm going to make it small. And now what I'm going to do, you can type in whatever text you want here. You can choose some pretty text, whatever you want to type and tell your customer, that's what you do here. You could go to elements and find, type in thank you. You could find something cute. Let's see. See, we can find something that just says thank you. And then if you ungroup these two texts here, let's say you didn't want that piece, but you want this. I want to change it from uppercase to regular. And maybe we want to type in here, please. Let's make this much smaller. Why isn't this moving? Okay, please click the image on the right to access your files. So that font is still pretty large, so I'm making it smaller. You can make it whatever color you want, whatever suits your fancy, however you want to do it. You can put as much information or as little as you choose. I would maybe duplicate this and then tell the customer what they're receiving. Maybe you can put some special contact information in here. Let them know if they have a problem, how you want them to get in touch with you. Do you want them to get in touch with you through Etsy? Do you want them to email you, call you, send you a message in Facebook? So you can put whatever information you want on here. So I could say you will receive a Google Drive link when you click on the file. Whatever your information is, that's what you're going to do. So now, right here, remember I told you I put the name of the file here? I do that because when you download this file, you want the name to be contained in here. So now the third thing that we're going to download, I don't know if it's third or fourth now, but we're going to download this page. We're going to go up to share. We're going to go to download. We are going to choose this as a PDF standard. We do not want all 9 pages. So we're going to click off of that and we're going to choose the current page 9. And we are going to download this. Just choose done and download. So now it's downloading the PDF standard. Now we're back over to Etsy. Remember, we downloaded our files from Canva, our mockups. Not this one, but this one. Wait, where is it? Where's our mockups, guys? They're here. We downloaded all of these mockup files. Remember those? So we downloaded pages 1 through 8, I believe. Yes, because page 9 is the customer file. So we downloaded pages 1 through 8 as JPEGs and we uploaded those. This is what I've already done. We uploaded those files to Etsy. And the way that you would do that, let me delete one of these and I'll reload it. So I'm going to delete this one with the gold frame. Uh-oh, I think I deleted 2 of them accidentally. But you would click on any of these open listings that Etsy has there for you, and you would just really go and upload your files. So I'm doing that now, and it's showing you that it has uploaded the files. So it's the same with the video. I'm going to delete this video and I'm going to show you how you upload the video. The video is it's a little different. You see the ones with the little plus sign and the picture. Those are for pictures. The one with the video sign, that's the only place that you can load the video. So you want to click on here. And when you click on here, this is going to allow you to go to your downloads folder and upload that video. So Etsy is starting to upload the video. And if you have up to 10 photos, you can load those. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you could upload 10 photos and 1 video. Now, your thumbnail is the picture that is shown in the marketplace. So you want to pick what you think is the best one to be your primary photo, which becomes your thumbnail. And that would go right here. And the way you do that, you would hover over any of the pictures or the picture that you want to be the main photo. So let's say we wanted this one to be the main photo. So you would left click your mouse and hold it and just drag it up. And it'll pop it in its place and it'll move the other photos around to accommodate. So if you look on thumbnail, you can see now that this photo is your thumbnail. And you can adjust your thumbnail as you want. You can make it larger if you want, but I would be careful in doing that. That is the reason why I told you, remember when we were making the mock-ups, I told you to make this 2500 by 2100. That's the reason why, because in the 25 by 2100 really helps the photos to fit in here pretty perfectly. So you don't have to do much adjusting to the thumbnail. So I'm waiting for this video to load. I don't know why it's so slow. Sometimes it is slow. So when it does that, I usually delete it and then just put it back in there. And then sometimes it'll upload it a little faster. But while it's doing that, let's scroll up some. Now I took the liberty of adding some keywords in here. This is a whole nother video. So right now we're just going to add some keywords in here that we think would be appropriate. But there is definitely a reason to learn SEO for Etsy, and I'll show you that in another video soon. But I do know that African American wall art, African American decor for women, and Afrocentric wall art with wall art spaced out are some pretty heavy lifting keywords that people are looking for. Not sure about the competition. That also is part of the whole SEO game with Etsy. Now, you notice here I have a hashtag and I have the name of our design. The reason that I do that, some people don't, and it does take up space because you only get 140 characters. But the reason that I do that is because if a customer is ever asking you something about a design, let's say you're out and you have your phone or your tablet with you, and you get a message in Etsy, and a customer wants to know about some design, but they don't know the name of the design. So if you have it listed here, they could easily tell you, oh, I'm interested in AA Design 1. So you would easily be able to find that. If it's not up here, you've got to actually go inside of your dashboard, and you've got to scroll down to your SKU information, because you would also put this information here. But you are the only person who can see this. The customer can't see this. So when you're out, you got your phone, you may not be able to look inside of your Etsy dashboard. You may not have the app available or whatever, but if it's on the listing, you and the customer can tell that you're looking at the same design. Okay. So now we have our video loaded, we have our pictures where we want them to be. This is now time for a description. So you can write a description in here, but I'll tell you something that I love to do. And I use Chat GPT. It is wonderful for making your descriptions. So let's go over to Chat GPT. Hey creators, you know what? I decided to do another video because this one is getting to be too long. So it really is like a master class happening. So we're going to do part 3, and you can check out that video after you check out the first one and this one, which is number 2. All right, we'll see you in the next video. Remember, the more we create, the less we hate.